morning and welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to be making sketchbooks. I made 3 different sketchbooks, 2 medium and a mini one. I got some book cloth off of Amazon, which I wasn't sure if I was going to like, but it kind of was the perfect material. And then I got some clamps from Home Depot and some wooden cutting boards from the dollar store to make a book press. I'm using the same watercolor paper that I used before, and I got some of the same brand but with mixed media paper. I don't sketch a lot in my sketchbooks. I tend to paint, and I wanted to have a place where I could go practice sketching with pencil, or I could even use pen and ink in there. So I made these 4 by 12-inch strips of paper so that once they are all folded into signatures, they make a 4 by 6-inch sketchbook. I did 2 of these, but one of them I only bound as far as the watercolor signatures goes because I didn't need 2 other watercolor sketchbooks. I already have several, but I wanted to test this out with different types of paper. I did make a mini one that is 3 by 4-inch. So some of the materials I got in my bookbinding kit I didn't end up using, but some of them were really helpful. The awl that I used right there to punch the holes was way easier than having to shove a tiny stitching needle through. And then the needles that I came with to actually stitch this together were really sturdy and pretty good quality. So I will link that kit in the description below. So if you're interested in testing this out, you can see that kit. So once I had them all stitched together, I did clamp them down and glue the spines with my PVA glue. This is the same glue that I've used before. It's actually the exact same bottle. It goes a long way, so you don't need very much. So what I did was I put a thin layer on the spine of each one. One was the watercolor and one was the mixed media. And then I put a piece of tissue paper. I actually have seen a lot of artists and bookbinders use cheesecloth, but I decided to go with this. Now this is where things took a bit of a turn. You didn't see this part because I cut out the footage, but this is the final material that I used for these sketchbook covers. But I actually had a really inexpensive chipboard that I got off Amazon in like a set of 500 sheets or something like that. I think I got it well over a year ago. And once it was dried, even though after I had everything covered in the book cloth and pressed, it still didn't matter. It bowed and the chipboard was stiff as a board at that point. So it was completely curved and stuck like that. So I had to take the signatures out and rebind them with this thicker chipboard. It was just a piece of scrap that I had from a palette paper pad that I used. So I just reused that. I didn't have to throw it away, so it was kind of like, it was nice to be able to reuse something and not have another piece of trash in my house. So moving into the book cloth, I wasn't sure if it was going to be something that I would like because I do like something that's a little bit more decorative and custom, but it's really thick and it's very, very sturdy and the glue stuck to it very well. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to take the white paper off of the back. I actually tried to peel it off and it would not peel off. After reading the reviews, I realized someone else had the same issue and you're not supposed to peel it off. So I will link to this stuff too. It is a really great material. It was kind of pricier than what I would have preferred to spend on just a book cover for a sketchbook I was making, but I'm very impressed with the quality of it, so you can find that link below as well. Using my palette knife for spreading the glue was probably the best trick that I could have had, because this glue, when you get it on your hands, it dries and it peels, and I hate the feeling of it. So I was trying everything I could to keep it off of my hands. It was kind of hard, but I did the best that I could, and using my palette knife to spread the glue was very helpful, and it does come off of the palette knife really easily. I actually watched a few different bookbinding YouTubes to see how they did the signatures and how they glued them into the covers, because the sketchbook I did last year, I think it was last year, with the Nancy Drew vintage book cover, I love it so much, but it fell apart, and that's why you don't see it in videos anymore. I have to figure out how to reglue it and tape it so that it doesn't look bad and I can still use it going forward because I really like it. It's really cute and I worked really hard on it. So once I got to this point, I pressed it. I actually didn't record the rest of the gluing part. I basically did the same thing, and this is how they turned out. I am actually very, very happy with them. I like the fabric colors a lot. They're a bit muted, so you can always customize them if you want. This watercolor one came out really nice, and then this mixed media one actually also came out nice. The pages are really glued together very well, so I'm pretty happy with them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.